Hi and welcome to another episode of Did He Text Me Back? I'm your host Stuart, and in this video we ask, did Mike text me back? 6 seconds on the clock, hit the comments now with your bet, yes or no. Hi guys, this isn't the video I originally wanted to make. You see, the original title of this video was That Twista Sound, the story of Recon and Squaddy. Sounds good, right? Thing is, this month I hit a massive snag, something I thought we were getting behind us. The answer to the question at the beginning of the video is no, Mike didn't write me back, and cocky Stu came out to play. I don't need him to write me back, we've got this. I was wrong. This video is now shorter and less detailed than I would have liked it to have been. Certainly not where I could say I've crossed Squaddy off the list. So much for the hidden theme in the DJ mix. Sorry, Baked Bean. That aside, we can at least look at the information that's out there about Mike Di Scala. Didn't see that name coming? Me either. It's from his granddad. Let's do this. From what I've been able to tell, Mike Di Scala is an incredibly talented guy. Not just as a hardcore producer, but also as someone who can command house and trance dance floors across the world. To start this video, we travel back to the year 2000 and a record shop in Liverpool called Ultrabeat Records. Back then, Mike worked for the shop and reports suggest he was a security guard. While working for the store, Mike met Dave Whelan, another local lad who, like Mike, was a bit of a DJ in various clubs around the city. As they became friends, the pair would take a weekly trip to Ultrabeat together on a Friday to check out the latest records that had just been delivered. Then in 2003, Mike took on a residency at the well-known Society in Liverpool, somewhere Dave was already playing, alongside Les Calvert, the third member of the group The Chosen Few. This was the start of Mike's production journey. That statement isn't exactly true. While it was certainly the start of the journey for Mike, Dave and Les together, I found an even earlier release from DJ Recon. Back in 2000, Mike was a member of the 30-strong group Sound Alliance and released a Dutch Gabber-style track called Distorted Souls under their brand. The Chosen Few had a number of house music releases in the early 2000s, but it would seem there was another itch that Mike needed to scratch. In 2002, along with Chris Henry and Ian Redman, Mike formed the group Ultrabeat. The trio all had one thing in common, and that was their love of happy hardcore. They booked some studio time and headed in to produce some bootlegs of old happy hardcore tracks as a way to elevate their DJ sets. Also in 2002, they produced their first record, a double A-side 12-inch single with Sonic Burning on one side and Boomcore on the other, a Scouse House anthem released on BCD Records, the label run by Butler, Calvert and Di Scala. Releasing your music on your own label is fine, but to make the next step, they needed the backing of a bigger and more established label. Mike was already making inroads into the huge UK dance music label all around the world, and he excitedly got in touch with the label as he wanted to play them a track. That track was the Ultrabeat cover of Pretty Green Eyes, a song originally by Force and Styles with the legendary vocals of MC Jr. All around the world signed Ultrabeat immediately, and you can understand why. That song alone peaked at number 2 in the charts, was playlisted by BBC Radio 1 and performed on Top of the Pops. The group released more records over the years, inspired by the happy hardcore music the members all loved, such as Feeling Fine and Elysium, I Go Crazy, which sampled Scott Brown and featured the vocals of Rebecca Rudd for the first time with the band. Worth also noting that the music video for their Scott Brown cover went on to be voted number 1 on MTV's Galaxy chart. Then in 2007, the band dropped their debut album, creatively titled Ultrabeat the Album, which peaked at number 8 in the UK albums chart. Shortly after release, the group went on tour with Cascada as her support act. 2007 was also a year for more collaboration, with Darren Styles working with the group on their track Disco Lights, which peaked at number 23 on the UK singles chart and was the only track from their second album, The Weekend Has Landed, to do so. When it was officially released on 26th of October 2009, after being leaked to file sharing sites, included with the 18-track album was a chronology DVD of all of their music videos. While everything was going great for Ultrabeat, Dave Whelan and Mike were still producing a lot of house music together under a variety of aliases such as Demode, The Bassline Hustlers and Men from Mars. Then in 2008, the pair formed what is their most notable project, Camelphat. Initially releasing on their own label Vice Recordings, they set about creating tech house bangers. The pair preferred the sounds of progressive over tech house. However, it was producing in the latter style that helped to open those initial doors into the world of house music and labels such as Ultra, Spinnin' and Defected. In a bid to encourage popularity through their music rather than their names and past projects, Camelphat used to wear wrestling masks to hide their real identity. It was in 2017 when the pair hit the big time, and after 4 months of trying, Camelphat had their song Cola signed to Defected. The collaboration with UK dance act Elderbrook saw the track propelled to a peak position of number 3 in the UK dance chart and number 18 in the UK singles chart. It even peaked at the number 1 spot on the US Billboard Dance Club chart. It became the track of the summer of 2017 and even won Track of the Season award at the 2017 DJ Awards. It could be heard everywhere that year, ended up being certified a gold record and was nominated for a Grammy for Best Dance Record, Best Contemporary Song at the 2018 Ivor Novello Awards and Best Dance Floor Track at the 2018 WDM Radio Awards. I even read that Noel Gallagher stated the song blew him away and he'd wished he'd written it himself. Don't worry, Noel, you get a bite at the cherry later on in the story when we get to releasing Dark Matter, the duo's debut album as Camelphat. Far from a one-hit wonder, Camelphat have done an incredible amount to put their spin on dance floors and radio waves around the world. They've produced guest mixes for Kiss FM, Radio 1 and a podcast on Axwell's label Axtone. When Eric Prydz gave up his High Ibiza residency for the Night League, Dave and Mike stepped up to the challenge and turned Tuesday nights into an instant success. They also followed TNL when they moved across the road to the 7,000 capacity outdoor mecca that is In October 2015, the pair became co-owners of Liverpool nightclub Mansion, alongside original owner Dean Jones. Found some interesting stories about Dean in my new favourite newspaper, the Liverpool Echo. You should definitely check out the one about someone getting an air rifle to the head. Scousers, eh? Camelphat have been nominated for and won many awards through the years, including House Artist at the 2018 DJ Awards and Best Group for the 2018 DJ Mag Best of British Awards, with Rolling Stone magazine naming the duo as one of 10 artists you need to know. In 2017, Camelphat performed the closing set at the Steel Yard at Creamfields and was so well received they returned the following year with their own branded tent. All this going on while 4 major labels were bidding to sign them onto a deal. The winner of that race was RCA Records. The duo continued to break new ground and pushed their sound forward, and in 2020, as part of the creation of their new record label, When Stars Align, they announced a talent surge looking for aspiring DJs to sign to the new label. This all falling in with a huge publishing deal with Sony ATV, meaning they will be bringing a lot of new talent to their scene in the years to come. Big things from 2 guys from Liverpool with relatively humble beginnings, working the local scene to cut their teeth before taking their combined talents to great heights of stardom. All the while that Mike has been Ultrabeat, Camelphat, or the host of other aliases we've known him by, he has mainly been known by one name in the hardcore scene. Should also mention Clearview, for which we should all know is the alias responsible for I Adore. If you're not, get on the DJ mix after this. Watch to the end for a direct link to that mix. As we saw earlier, the first reference that I could find to the name Recon was in 2000 as part of the Sound Alliance group. After that, he appeared to concentrate more on Ultrabeat until in 2004 when we saw the return of the Recon alias around the time that we were seeing a lot of Raver Baby and Clubland releases. It was through this label that we saw the return of Recon with the tracks Rock the Crowd and Free Again. After a few more releases on Raver Baby, Future World, and another label called Monkey Business, created as an outlet for his own productions, around 2008, Mike started to work with fellow Scouse House lover Wayne Donnelly, who you may have known as Hypersonic or Squaddy. The duo soon took the hardcore scene by storm, and by using the knowledge that Mike had acquired from being a charted dance music artist, underpinning it with ideas from their Scouse House days, and Squaddy's incredible talent to make banger after banger, in 2009, Twista Records was born. Even though there's little to no information online about this period of time, I can certainly see that the Twista sound was not only very popular, but is also loved still to this day. But what was it that made that sound so special? That's maybe a question more for you guys to answer, as for me, it was just another evolution and not one that stood out on its own. The label Twista Records was associated with Raver Baby. What does that mean? Mike, I've got a lot of unanswered questions, so if by some miracle this video lands on your doorstep, hit me up please. Facebook, Instagram, I guess Twitter if you must, or simply by email. The only one thing I can do is, by using my own opinions, conclude this video. Okay, I'm going to stop stalling now. Way back, Scouse House was a massive thing. In the Northwest at least. I used to love a bit of Scouse House in Wigan Pier and Maxime's. In a way, the genre was its own evolution of what was created back in those early happy hardcore days. Hear me out. Recognisable vocals, a thumping kick and bass line. Granted, the bass lines had that unmistakable donk to them. Apparently that's called bounce now, it wasn't back then. Also, similarly to the early happy hardcore sound, some tracks took the cheese to a whole new level. To get to the Twista sound, I see a lot of elements in the mix. Mike obviously drew from his trance house and Scouse House productions. Electro House was a big thing back then too, and you can hear that coming through on those tracks. Squaddy, or possibly just as importantly to this, his alias Hypersonic, also brought the Scouse House and trance and his incredible ability to make bangers. So what was the Twista sound? An instantly recognisable vocal or hook, a banging kick and bass line. By the way, it has to be said that everyone around that time wanted to know how Squaddy got such powerful kicks and bass lines, and a euphoric feeling that leaves you wanting more. Twista Records lasted around 2 years. Recon and Squaddy were being booked for events up and down the country and played for Hardcore Till I Die, Raver Baby, Uproar, Westfest and Global Gathering, to name but a few. After 2011, it appears that Mike pretty much hung up his Recon mask, as I can't find anything much in the way of releases or bookings. He doesn't necessarily need to do anything more with Recon, as the moves he's making are producing huge results in the house music scene with Dave as Camelphat. For what it's worth though, Mike, I love the Recon production and still do to this day. So that's all I can really tell you about Mike Di Scala. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something about another one of the legends of the happy hardcore scene. Exciting news from Hardcore History headquarters. We've made YouTube partner. Not bad going considering this video marks 1 year since I started this journey. Happy birthday, Hardcore History. What? Go on, let's do the full-on cheesy YouTube thing. Get it in the comments now. Happy birthday, Hardcore History. Thank you for all your support over the last year. I never imagined we'd get to triple figures on the subscriber count, let alone making YouTube partner. Next video, you might see me looking quite dishevelled. I've made a start, but I'm taking on my biggest challenge on the channel so far. I'm going after 3 artists in the next video. Yeah, you heard me right, 3 artists. This is a special episode that I've been working with some of the OG names from the scene on. More on that to come soon, so watch Facebook and Insta, maybe even community posts on here if I remember to post. Until then, please slap the subscribe and like buttons. They love it a bit rough. I'm off for a brew. 3 artists in one video. Whose bright idea was that? See you next time.